Welcome back to my channel. It's been exactly 2 weeks since I did my tank transfer, and we're going to see if any of my corals survived. I've been away for the last week, so the algae on the glass has built up. Because I've been away, I haven't been able to touch the tank at all, so it hasn't been touched apart from a little bit of feeding. Thank you very much for the comments in the last video. It did help. I did put a bag of carbon in the sump just to take out any heavy metals from where the tank's being built. I did wipe down the tank with some RODI water beforehand. Looking through the glass, I can see some dinos on the rocks. So my job today is to get the UV sterilizer back into the sump and back on. I'm going to quickly feed the fish. I'm going to do it this way for a while because I don't want to put too much food into the water. I want all the food to be eaten by the fish. And I'll tell you why, because I've already tested. I'll show you the test results in a minute. In this video, I'm going to take you through the equipment that I have on my tank at the moment. We're going to dive down into the sump, have a look down there, go into the equipment cupboard, and then we're going to take a look at the corals and see how they're doing 2 weeks on. Did they survive? Look at these results. My phosphate and nitrate are very high. My phosphate's around 0.4 and my nitrate's around 40, but it's quite understandable. I have taken a brand new tank and filled it full of corals and rocks, so I've lost a lot of the biodiversity and the bacteria on the glass. If you can remember from the last video, I dropped my dosage by about 25% because I didn't know how much the corals were going to take the elements out of the water. But it looks like the corals are still growing because my alk and calcium are coming down. This is the equipment cupboard. My pH is 8.1 and my temperature is about 25 degrees. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, so that's okay for the pH and the temperature. I'm still running my MP40s. I've got one of those either side, and that's my return pump in the middle. I've then got a spare pump in the sump, which I'll show you later, and my skimmer. I'm still dosing just a 2-part at the moment, which I'll keep doing because it's working great for me. While I was cleaning the tank, I saw some dinos in there, so this week I'm going to whack my UV on. This won't take long. I fast forward it, but this is how I do it. I'll just show you this quickly. Because if you do it this way, you're not going to break the sleeve. Whereas if you stand it up and drop the bulb in, yeah, it breaks the sleeve pretty much every time. So this is how I do it. This is the D&D 20-watt UV sterilizer, and it's absolutely awesome. Water is crystal clear once I put this on. Now I can see in the tank, the corals aren't looking too bad at all. The colours and the polyps are there. There's no signs of stress on the corals. So far after 2 weeks, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my tank transfer. The rainbow loom's looking great. The strawberry shortcake, you can see the polyps on that. There was a lot of people worried for my corals in the comments from the last video, but yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. Now we're going to go down into the sump and have a look down there. So down here, we've got the skimmer on. I did just clean it out beforehand, and that's what is taken out so far in the last hour or so. The UV is back up and running. That's a lot of water going through it, so I will slow that down a little bit. But yeah, I've connected that up now. I put the removable baffle in the middle to split this section. So I've got my UV in the back. I've got the skimmer in the front. I've also got a bit of live rock in the back and the return pump. You see the pipe in the middle. This is from my second pump. It feeds my UV and it also comes over the front here. And see the T at the bottom is blowing water directly on the bottom of the sump, so that's going to stop any detritus from settling down there, which will keep the sump nice and clean. Another thing that I've done is I've put the frag rack on the back. I don't like the look of frag racks in the main display, and it fits perfectly down the back of the tank. I've just lifted it up there and now I'm putting it back down so you can see it hides it quite well. I've put the tank on blue and I've got my orange glasses out just so you can see the colour of the corals now. You can see they haven't lost any colour in the transfer. Even with my phosphates and nitrates extremely high, the corals are looking absolutely great. You can see the polyps flowing around in the water. Even the tenuouses, look at the tenuous, the polyps and the tenuous, it's even got some growth on the top. So they're doing well now as well. You can just see the frag rack at the back. They're also encrusting on the frag plugs, looking really good. I've got 3 strawberry shortcakes up there. This one here is about 6 months old, that strawberry shortcake. And back down to the rainbow loom. Look at the colours on that thing. All my Montiporas are doing really well, with loads of frags of the rainbow phoenix. And this strawberry shortcake here I've had for quite a long time, but it's been fragged loads. I really like the rainbow loom on the bottom. I'm going to do this with all my big corals. I'm going to move them down and then I've got more room for more acroporas on the top. The chalices, everything else is doing well. And I was really happy with the scape. It's even more open than the last one, and the detritus settles in the back corner and I can just suck it up with my water changes. And look at the colour of that golden jaw dropper. The gonnies as well, the gonnies are doing really well. The polyps are out, they're extended. They haven't got as much room as they had before, but they seem to be happy down there. And the rest of the SPS at the top, that's a Pikachu and a PC Rainbow, and then my Fox Flame. I've got all my nice high-end corals at the top where they should be. This is exactly 2 weeks from my tank transfer. This is a brand new tank, and so far so good. It seems to have worked. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.